Hello, I hope you're all doing fine. Welcome to another episode on our channel on Aikido Virtual Dojo. If you're new, also welcome to our channel. So today we'll be covering the technique Shomen'uchi iriminage. It's one of the very basic techniques. We'll show you some details around it, some important points, and stay with us so we'll explain everything. First, I will make a big step with my back foot, entering behind the uke, and it's actually in irimi-kaiten where I turn around and I align my direction of sight with the direction of the uke. Okay, now here in this position I will do a slight opening with my hips, which will open up also the hips of the uke so that I can turn around and take him with the iriminage. And as I apply the iriminage technique, I will take a step forward with the leg which is closer to the uke, and it's actually this irimi step from which the technique takes its name, iriminage. Okay, so we've done the footwork, and as usually now we will cover the movements with the uke. So I'll ask Sandra to attack me, or actually because it's a Shomen'uchi and we are in the basic version, so for the basic version we usually do it in Kihon, and when we do it in Kihon, it's me initiating the connection here for the Shomen'uchi. And there are two reasons for this. First of all, we can do also the Shomen'uchi attack in Kinonagare, so Sandra could be coming at me, striking, and we can also do the technique at a bit more advanced level. But for the basic level, it's easier to start in static because I can feel better, I can decide at which moment I move, I start the technique, so I can focus really on improving my movements. This is one reason. The second reason is if Sandra is standing in front of me, and we are maybe just arguing, and I see that she will be attacking me, but I don't know how, I can force the attack. I can force the Shomen'uchi connection by raising my arm on the center line and going towards the face. She will protect her face. We have a Shomen'uchi. Okay. So let's start with the technique. So we start in the basic connection, Shomen'uchi, and for the iriminage, I want to enter behind the uke. So I will take a step just aside of the arm here, and I don't want to push the arm away because if she turns it will be more difficult to do the technique. So I'm stepping in just aside of the arm and just keeping it here in place, protecting myself from a movement, but not pushing away. And I want to get as far behind the uke that I can actually look from the other side over the other shoulder in the same direction as the uke. And as I do this, I will also grab the neck or the gi on the neck or the other shoulder a bit next to the neck with my other hand. Okay, so entering here, connecting with the neck, with the center line, looking from the other side, and actually I can present the word to the uke here. Okay, so I extend my arm, putting the hand up, so it's like I'm showing, hey, look at the word, how beautiful it is. The interesting thing here is that as I'm connected here, and this is a detail that beginners often forget, they try to force the technique from here, but if the uke is strong, it's difficult to force the technique from this position. There is an element where I turn my hips a little bit, and I will show it from another angle in a moment, so maybe it will be easier to see. I turn my hips a little bit, and I show the uke around. So look, this side here, the word looks like this. When we go up to the ceiling, and then we come down on the other side. Okay, we explain to the kids sometimes that it's the technique, we call the technique the rainbow, because it starts there, goes around, and finishes there. Or we say also that we are, to the adults maybe sometimes, that we are showing the dojo. So here is one corner, here is the ceiling, and then as we step in for the iriminage, here is the tatami. Here is the other wall, and then here is the tatami, right? So this is the movement for the iriminage from this technique. Now, let's have a look at it from another angle, and I will start with my back to the camera, but then I will show you the rest once I turned. So I enter just a side. I get behind the shoulder, and as you can see now, I'm looking in the same direction as the uke straight in the camera. I'm presenting. I can connect through the center line. So now if the uke is taller than me, I can get his head close to my shoulder here by working on the center line here. Okay? And now this is the opening. So I open up a little bit in this direction, and when the feet of uke start moving, or the uke starts losing balance, I go around and finish with the irimi step. Okay, so I was extending the time in the position where Sandra was almost losing balance. So let's do the technique once again now in a more fluid way, where I can just do the technique without explaining, but then you will see also the end how it works actually in real time. And at the end there is the irimi step. With both hands, actually I'm going around the center line of the uke, and both hands finish here. Okay, there is one more thing that I want to show you at the end. It's actually for the irimi itself, stay there. So when I try to push here against the center line, if the uke is strong, I cannot push really against the center line. I cannot move the uke. So this is one reason of doing this opening with the hips, is to get the center line of uke a little bit around, like into a spiral movement. But the second thing that is important is I don't want to push against here. I imagine that I go across the chest of the uke and around the center line. So my hand goes on the other side. I'm stretching out there and then coming back around. And as you can see here, Sandra couldn't resist. When I was pushing against, it creates a reaction of resistance. When I go around the center line, this movement doesn't really create resistance in the uke. Okay, there is nothing to go against because it's not pushing straight against the center line. So the uke doesn't have an energy to go against. The energy goes around the line of resistance. So I hope you liked these explanations. Thanks for watching, and see you again in another video.